Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are fine. Today we are going to read textbook pages 94 and 95. Kindly take out your textbooks and write date and day on these two pages. Our learning objective for today are to learn about how energy can be used and to learn about thermal energy and the heat. First of all, let's discuss the keywords for today. We are going to discuss three keywords today: matter, particles, and thermal energy. Definitions of these keywords are given on page number 119 of your textbook. Matter. Matter is the material that everything is made up of. Matter is anything that takes up some space and has some mass. So everything in the universe is made up of matter. Particles, the very small pieces or parts that make up matter. Thermal energy, the potential and the kinetic energy of particles is called the thermal energy. Matter is made up of very tiny particles. When these particles move, they create thermal energy. Using energy. You all know very well that energy is the ability to do work, and the main source of energy is food. We get energy when we eat food, and we can use this energy to perform different works. Similarly, different types of energies can be used to perform different tasks. Sometimes people use machines to change forms of energy. A machine is anything that makes our work easier. So, some machines can be used to convert one form of energy to another to be used. For example, we use kinetic energy to turn on the light. When you turn on the switch, you are using the kinetic energy because it is the energy of motion or the movement. And when the light is turned on, the electrical energy changes into light energy and heat energy. A light bulb is a common machine because it makes our work easier. Let's take another example, the example of a cable car. Previously, we discussed the potential energy and the kinetic energy, and we discussed that the potential energy is the stored energy, and it is the energy which is exhibited by the position of any object. If the object is raised from the earth's surface, it has some potential energy due to the gravity of the earth. When the cable car moves, it changes this potential or the stored energy into kinetic energy, which is the energy of motion. We use so many machines in our daily life that convert one form of energy to another form of energy which is usable. For example, some people use electrical toothbrush to brush their teeth. The electrical toothbrush has a cord or a wire that plugs into an outlet. When you plug it into an outlet, it uses the electrical energy and store this electrical energy as the chemical energy in its batteries. We previously discussed that batteries can save the chemical energy, and this energy can be changed into any other form. When you turn on the toothbrush to brush your teeth, this energy, which is the chemical energy stored in the batteries of the toothbrush, first convert into electrical energy. This electrical energy then converts into kinetic energy, means the energy of motion or the energy of movement, and this energy can be used to brush the teeth. So when the electrical toothbrush is moving, you are using the kinetic energy. Here is another example of using energy. We can use energy by converting into the different forms. But one thing should be kept in mind, that energy does not completely change from one form to another. Some of the energy is always dissipated in the form of heat in the environment. So some of the energy is always used to produce heat. For example, if you turn on an electrical light bulb, the electrical energy converts into light energy, but after some time you may feel the bulb is being warm. Why is it so? Because some of the electrical energy is also converting into heat. that can be felt by touching the bulb because it becomes warmer with the passage of time. It is because some of the energy is always converted into heat when some energy change is taking place. Here comes question number 13. You have to read the text and complete the sentences with the words from the box. You can see there are some blanks given here and there are some words given in the box. You have to use these words to complete these blanks and then you will check your answers by reading the passage again. Thermal energy and the heat. These two are very important forms of energy. We all know very well that matter is made up of tiny particles. We call them atoms and molecules. These particles are in constant motion and this is because they have some energy. They get some energy and they convert this energy into kinetic energy to move from one place to another place. The energy of moving particles is called the thermal energy. The energy found in matter due to the movement of the particles is called the thermal energy. And this is basically the potential energy and the kinetic energy of the particle in the matter. The particle stores some potential energy and when they move from one place to another, they use this potential energy to convert into kinetic energy to move. Energy from the sun makes the particle in an object move faster. When the sunlight falls on any object, for example on your skin or any other object, the particles of that matter get some energy. They convert this energy into kinetic energy and or the energy of movement. When the particles of the matter move, some of the energy is converted into heat and the object becomes warm. Greater is the movement of the particle, greater the object get warm. Sunlight feels warmer on your skin just because of the movement of the particles in your skin. You may have noticed when you sit in the shade, you feel cold. Why is it so? It is because the sun's energy is no longer heating up the matter and the particles' movement is slowing down. That's why you feel cold. Heat is transfer of energy from one place to another. When the energy is transferred from one object to another, we call it heat. You may have noticed when you keep a hot cup of tea and a cold glass of water in the same room, after some time the water in the glass gets warmer and the tea in the cup gets cooler. Why? Because heat always travels from the warmer object to the cooler object. It will move out from the cup of tea because the environment is cooler than the hot cup of tea, and it will move into the glass of water because the water is cooler than the environment. This will continue until the temperature of both objects becomes the same. Energy can travel. It can travel from one type of matter to another. For example, if we are cooking in the kitchen and there is a cooking pan or cooking pot on the stove, it is very hot. If we take a metal spoon which is colder and put it in the pot, after some time the spoon also becomes warm. Why is it so? Because the heat travels from the warmer object to the cooler object until the temperature of both becomes the same. That's why the energy flows or the heat flows from the cooking pot to the spoon and the metal spoon also become warm. Here comes question number 1. You have to read the whole passage which is given in your textbook and you have to circle true or false. After doing this, you have to correct the false statements. Here comes your homework. You have to answer these questions on the notebook or on the loose sheet if you are not having the notebook. Question number 1. How does cable car gains potential energy? Question number 2. What causes the burning candles to melt? That was all for today. Thank you.